In Songs for the People, the abolitionist, journalist, and poet Frances Ellen Watkins Harper wrote, "Let me make the songs for the people, songs for the old and young, songs to stir like a battle cry wherever they are sung. Our world so worn and weary needs music pure and strong to hush the jangle and discords of sorrow, pain, and wrong." From Frances Ellen Watkins Harper to Whitney Young Jr., from Alandria Williams to our own Reverend Duncan Teague and beyond, Black Unitarian Universalists continue to challenge, expand, and celebrate UU faith. How does the work of Black leaders and scholars challenge learned, colonized narratives? How can we re-examine self-love, hope, history, and legacy through Black experiences and study? Explore all this and more with us through our worship series, Black Expressions of UUism.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta and our live stream worship this morning as we explore the erotic as power. I'll be joined making music by Shawna, Floyd, and Jeep Hook, and of course by Willie Sullivan, and we will join together in this first hymn of powerful spiritual, number 1040, Hush. 2, 3, 4. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? Sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. It sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? I'm so glad that trouble don't last always. I'm so glad that trouble don't last always. I'm so glad that trouble don't last always. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Well, hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord,
Thank you, Don and Willie, and good morning to you. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta, where we are transforming lives through courageous action and soulful connection. And sometimes, on a day like today, we are doing both at the same time. I'm Reverend Taryn Strauss, Senior Minister here, and I'm delighted to be joined on the pulpit by an amazing UECA member, extraordinary singer, performer, writer, just all-around queen, Shawna Floyd, who will be with us today. And we are well into our worship series, Black Expressions of Unitarian Universalism, where we are just exploring all the vibrant tradition and theology that African American Unitarian Universalists bring to our denomination, to our community, to our lives, and to our lived theologies. As we are making it through this pandemic, we observe that one thing that has felt elusive is the power of the erotic as we try to survive a global pandemic. It has often been fraught with times of disconnection from our own bodies, from our own power, presence, and feeling all that we feel so completely. So it is a joy to get into this, to the power of the erotic today. So thank you so much for joining us. I also want you to know today's beautiful flower arrangement was donated by Sharon and Gordon Love in memory of Gordon's beloved son, Tom, who died suddenly of heart failure 1 year ago today. We send love to that family, to Gordon. Thank you for these gorgeous flowers as we celebrate love today. And we are also grateful to have with us, helping to lead worship, our ministerial intern, Aidan McMahon. Take it away.
Thank you. Good morning. I am ministerial intern Aidan McMahon, and I am ecstatic to invite you to our 2022 Congregational Retreat held at Camp Michael in Toccoa, Georgia. The retreat will take place from Friday, March 25th through Sunday, March 27th. The retreat theme is Healing Together, from self-care to community care. We will have leadership development workshops, facing grief and death, beautiful worship together, meditative art workshops, campfire sing-alongs, a talent show, guided hikes, and so much more. Public health precautions and details are available when you register. Sign up now as space is limited. All the coolest kids are doing it. You've got to be there. What else are the cool kids doing? Well, they're all on Realm, that's for sure. We need you to join us in our new organizational software. We'll be using Realm for many years to come, and we want you to be part of our system. If you have not yet received a link to create your account, or if you need technical assistance, email Director of Communications, Shay Stewart, or review their easy how-to video at the link below. Through the live chat, we can express love and care for each other. Please take a moment to say hello to each other and anyone else who may be visiting this morning's worship. Wasn't it good to say hello? You can connect even more by joining our lay ministry team after the service in the Zoom Room social hour. Plus, we'll be joined today by Reverend Taryn Strauss, Don Milton, and the Sabbatical Committee. Come learn more about Don's upcoming sabbatical and our interim music director. We'll see you there. And once again, we are joyful that you have chosen to worship as part of this special community on this beautiful Sunday morning.
It is now that time of the worship service where you can get your chalice at home and join us as we light our chalice in the worship space and say our chalice lighting words together. May the light of this flame illuminate our tradition of seeking, invite all who yearn for acceptance, and ignite our passion for justice and peace.
I'm hot just like an oven. I need your loving. And baby, I can't hold it much longer. It's getting stronger and stronger. And when I get that feeling, I want sexual healing, sexual healing. Oh, baby, makes me feel so fine. Helps to relieve my mind. Sexual healing, baby, is good for me. Sexual healing is something that's good for me. Whenever blue teardrops are falling and my emotional stability is leaving me, there is something I can do. I can get on the telephone and call you up, baby. And honey, I know you'll be there to relieve me. The love you give to me will free me. If you don't know the thing you're dealing, I can tell you, darling, that it's sexual healing. Baby, I got sick this morning. A sea was storming inside of me. Baby, I think I'm capsizing. The waves are rising and rising. And when I get that feeling, I want sexual healing. Sexual healing is good for me. Makes me feel so fine. It's such a rush. Helps to relieve my mind. And it's good for us. Sexual healing, baby, is good for me. Sexual healing is something that's good for me. And it's good for me. And it's so good to me, my baby. Oh, 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 come take control. Just grab a hold of my body and mind. Soon we'll be making it, honey. Oh, be feeling fine. You're my medicine. Open up and let me in. Darling, you're so great. I can't wait for you to operate. I can't wait for you to operate. Baby, I'm hot just like an oven. I need your loving.
Wow, thank you. Doesn't even cover it. Thank you so much. There's a reason we have done embodied prayer every Sunday of this pandemic, every Sunday we've been apart. So I really want to invite you now to rise in body if you can, or join us in body if you can. Join us for this morning's time to connect with spirit, with self, with our bodies. For this morning's movement prayer brought to us by Spencer and Meredith Milby.
We bow to honor the spirit of life. We lift our arms and embrace the gifts of spirit.
We bring these gifts to ourselves
with gratitude and breathe and smile. We share these gifts with the world. We remember to be present.
honor, embrace, gratitude, share, be present.
Amen. Thanks, Meredith and Spencer. So last week we sang the fabulous hymn, "We Are Climbing Jacob's Ladder." And this week it's a same melody and the same feel of that hymn, the demanding for freedom now in this moment, striving towards freedom in this moment. But "We Are Climbing Jacob's Ladder" started coming into a lot of singing circles during the civil rights movement in the 1960s. And there were calls for new lyrics that were more inclusive, that had a feminist edge to them. These are attributed to Carol Etzler, a Unitarian Universalist musician. And the song is "We Are Dancing Sarah's Circle." We are dancing Sarah's circle. We are dancing Sarah's circle. We are dancing Sarah's circle. We are dancing all. Here we seek and find our history. Here we seek and find our history. Here we seek and find our history. We are dancing all. We will all do our own naming. We will all do our own naming. We will all do our own naming. We are dancing all.
Let us put hands upon hearts and feel the warm connection. Let love in this moment flow. Say to yourself silently, "I will love myself. I will love others. And that love will heal the world." We send our prayers of love and healing across the country now to our hurting Unitarian Universalist faith. 1 week ago, we lost a giant of our faith, Reverend Jean Pupke, died suddenly. Jean was senior minister at our UU congregation in Richmond, Virginia. She was the closest we have to a UU bishop, a pastor's pastor. We send love to Jean's wife, Regina, to the executive minister, Reverend Sherman Logan, to all of Jean's friends and congregation in Richmond. Jean was a significant mentor of mine and of the UUCA board at a critical moment. Jean means so much to me personally and to this faith. We carry Jean's legacy in our hearts. You are invited to say the name of someone you are holding in your heart this morning, someone who could use some extra loving energy coming to them. Please write their name into the live chat or speak their name into this sacred moment now. May all beings find connection. May all people find comfort. May all of us find more ways to be more loving to one another. As humans have gathered for millennia, so do we gather in our way on this day to gently surrender to something beyond ourselves, to humbly acknowledge our mistakes, to ask forgiveness, to seek hope and renewal, to honor the earth that supports and sustains life, to remember that all beings are mysteriously connected, and to feel that connection. Now, we still our bodies, we still our minds. We take in a big breath, and we exhale. We relax into this space, this moment that our intentions make sacred. We enter into the wise silence.
Every round a generation, every round a generation, every round a generation, we are dancing on and on the circles moving, on and on the circles moving,
on and on the circles moving, we are dancing on.
Listening to My Body, a guide to helping kids understand the connection between sensations, what the heck are those, and feelings, so that they can get better at figuring out what they need. By Gabby Garcia. Illustrated by Ying Hui Tan. Read by Laura Beth Brown. My body is my friend. It tells me lots of things. I yawn when I'm tired. My stomach growls to let me know I'm hungry, and sometimes I get goosebumps when I'm cold. This happens on its own, without me doing anything. I may not even notice that it's happening, but I can start paying attention to my body, and so can you. When I pay attention and listen to my body, I notice many different sensations. Sensations are the physical feelings we all have inside and outside our bodies. Cold, sweaty, strong, and breathless are examples of some sensations. The sensations in my body are always changing. There are times when my body is so wiggly and squirmy that it's like I have ants in my pants. At other times, my body is calm and still. Sometimes the beat of my heart is like a gentle tap. Sometimes it feels like a pounding drum. I can also listen to my body for clues about how I'm feeling about the things around me. Feelings are not good or bad. They're something we all experience. Curious, proud, grumpy, and scared are a few feelings we all have. What I've learned from listening to my body is that sensations and feelings go together. I noticed this when I got to ride a roller coaster for the first time. I was super excited that I was finally tall enough to ride, but I also felt nervous as I climbed on board. My belly felt squishy and fluttery. My mom calls that having butterflies in your stomach, but I thought it felt more like a kitty chasing ping pong balls in there. Sometimes, when I'm sad, I get a lump in my throat that makes it hard to talk or breathe. Soon, I may start crying. Crying makes me feel better, though. So do hugs. My mom once explained to me that sensations and feelings are like the waves in the ocean. Some come crashing in, while others roll in gently. And they always come and go. We can't stop the waves from coming, but we can pay attention to them so they don't knock us over. Sometimes I get overwhelmed and need help from a grown-up. On the first day of school, I woke up super early because I couldn't stop thinking about what my new class would be like. My stomach felt like it was tied in knots, so I didn't eat breakfast. In class, it was hard for me to focus on what my new teacher, Miss Morgan, was saying, and my body was shaky. When it was time to line up, I accidentally bumped my desk and knocked my stuff all over the floor. Miss Morgan helped me pick up my things, and I took deep breaths like she reminded me. I told her about my morning, and she explained that our brains have a hard time thinking when our bodies are tired and hungry. Miss Morgan thought I would feel better if I had a snack and rested in a quiet place while the class was at recess. And she was right. When I came back to the classroom, I was calm and able to focus, so the rest of my day went much better. At other times when I'm upset, I can figure out what I need on my own by listening to my body. I can pay attention to my breathing, my heartbeat, the temperature of my skin, or to any other sensation. Am I hungry or thirsty? Tired or full of energy? These are just some questions I can ask myself. I can also try to name my feelings. Do I feel confused or frustrated, hurt or cranky, peaceful or playful? There are many different ways I may be feeling, and they are all okay. Listening to my body and naming what I feel takes practice, but it helps me figure out what I need. Do I need to have a snack, drink some water, or get some rest? Do I need to take deep breaths or sing my favorite song? Do I need to sit in a quiet place alone or go outside and jump around? The more I practice listening to my body, the better I get at responding with care and kindness for myself. I can get better at listening to my body, and so can you.
Right now, February of 2022, we are more than 2 years into the COVID-19 pandemic. We are also more than 2 weeks into a series of demonstrations in Ottawa, Canada, in protest of pandemic restrictions, whose supporters are calling it the Freedom Convoy. I can't help but note the irony of freedom language, because so often the message is really just, I feel inconvenienced. Freedom, my friends, is not the right to live your life as though your actions have no consequences. Are there any genuine grievances to be found in these protesters, or for that matter, the many others like them? I can think of only one, and there's a caveat. This pandemic has caused immense grief. Those who have not caught this disease, or have caught it and recovered, have nevertheless suffered emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually from the disruption, the isolation, and the loss of life. We are entitled to every difficult emotion we are feeling right now. But here's my caveat. Our freedom in responding to those hard feelings ends at the point where another person's well-being begins. In some ways, this is a failure of communities and governments. It is a failure that we have not taken seriously enough people's health, especially the invisible dimensions. I wonder how many of these protesters have people in their lives with whom they can share their struggles. How many have therapists, spiritual directors, lay ministers, groups or circles to support them, individually or collectively? I suspect the answer is very few. We are all struggling. Fortunately, we do have a community to support us. We have lay ministers. We have small groups and monthly vespers, and this time right now, if you need us, we are here. It is your giving that makes this possible, that enables UUCA to give back to you, our beloved congregation. The offering will now be given, gratefully received.
To walk up behind me and kiss me on my neck and breathe on my neck. I want somebody to walk up behind me and kiss me on my neck and breathe on my neck. Been such a long time, I forgot that I was fine. Just kiss me on my neck and breathe on my neck. I want somebody to walk up behind me and kiss me on my neck and breathe on my neck. If you want to feel me, better be divine. Bring me water, water for my mind. Give me nothing, breathe love in my air. Don't abuse me, 'cause these herbs are rare. If you want to feel me, better be divine. Bring me water, water for my mind. Give me nothing, breathe love in my air. Don't abuse me, 'cause these herbs are rare. If you want to feel me, baby, better be divine. Bring me water for these flowers growing out my mind. Give me nothing, just be gentle, breathe love in my air. Use me, don't abuse me, love me, 'cause these herbs are rare. If you want to feel me, better be divine. Bring me water, water for my mind. Give me nothing, breathe love in my air. Don't abuse me, 'cause these herbs are rare. If you want to feel me, better be divine. Bring me water, water for my mind. Give me nothing, breathe love in my air. Don't abuse me, 'cause these herbs are rare. I want somebody to walk up behind me and kiss me on my neck and breathe on my neck. I want somebody to walk up behind me and kiss me on my neck and breathe on my neck. Been such a long time, I forgot that I was fine. Just kiss me on my neck and breathe on my neck. I want somebody to walk up behind me and kiss me on my neck and breathe on my neck. I want somebody to walk up behind me and kiss me on my neck and breathe on my neck.
Thank you. I wish you all were here to applaud. You know, in this time of these years of sanitary separation, of pandemic, we have lost touch with certain things, with certain ways of connecting with each other, with ourselves. And Shawna and I had a number of very loving conversations over these last couple weeks about this service. And at one point, Shawna wondered, is this something, the power of the erotic, is this something we can talk about in church? Friends, this is part of life, and all of life belongs here in the worship service. All of life belongs here and has a place here in the community. the strange, the mysterious, the erotic, the difficult, the painful. It all is a part of life, and it is all welcome here. To have the kind of congregation, the kind of denomination and faith that allows us to bring our whole lives here, our whole selves, not to partition ourselves off from our faith or from spiritual depth, no, but welcomes all of it. That is something to believe in. That is something to give generously, to support. That is something to commit to honor and to cherish. Blessings on your generosity, blessings on all the ways you cherish and give to this congregation. Please join me now as we dedicate this morning's offering to the work of this congregation, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action we call community. We dedicate our lives, and these are offerings. This morning's reading is an excerpt of the seminal Audre Lorde essay, The Uses of the Erotic as Power. This paper was originally delivered at the 4th Berkshire Conference on the History of Women at Mount Holyoke College on August 25th, 1978. We will now hear an excerpt from Audre Lorde sharing this essay with that community.
The very word erotic comes from the Greek word eros, the personification of love in all its aspects, born of chaos and personifying creative power and harmony. When I speak of the erotic, then, I speak of it as an assertion of the life force of all women, of that creative energy empowered, the knowledge and use of which we are now reclaiming in our language, our history, our dancing, our loving, our work, our lives. There have been frequent attempts to equate pornography and eroticism, the two diametrically opposed uses of the sexual. And because of these attempts, it has become fashionable to separate the spiritual, the psychic and emotional, away from the political, to see them as contradictory or antithetical. For instance, what do you mean a poetic revolutionary, a meditating gun runner? Well, they exist. They exist in this room. In the same way, we have attempted to separate the spiritual and the erotic, reducing the spiritual thereby to a world of flattened affect, of vague mystery, a world of the ascetic who aspires to feeling nothing. But nothing is farther from the truth. The severe abstinence of the ascetic becomes the ruling obsession, and it is one not of self-discipline, but of self-abnegation. So the dichotomy between the spiritual and the political is false, resulting from an incomplete attention to our erotic knowledge. The bridge which connects the spiritual and the political is formed by the erotic, the sensual, those physical, emotional, psychic expressions of what is deepest and strongest and richest within each one of us being shared, the passions of love in its deepest meanings.
Our luminary sister, Audre Lorde, instructed and warned us. In order to perpetuate itself, every oppression must corrupt or distort those various sources of power within the culture of the oppressed that can provide energy for change. For women, this has meant a suppression of the erotic as a considered source of power and information within our lives. Lorde says this in her piece, Uses of the Erotic as Power. Think about it. The erotic, a source of power, a source of information, a source providing energy for change. If it is all that, can do all that, is it any wonder that exploitive, oppressive, predatory powers that be would be invested in the suppression of the erotic? I want us to consider the difference between these two songs. One Direction's song, What Makes You Beautiful, and another sister luminary, Erykah Badu's song, Kiss Me on My Neck. You're insecure, don't know what for, you're turning heads when you walk through the door, don't need makeup to cover up, being the way that you are is enough. Everyone else in the room can see it, everyone else but you. Baby, you light up my world like nobody else. The way that you flipped your hair gets me overwhelmed, but when you smile at the ground, it ain't hard to tell. You don't know. You don't know you're beautiful. If only you saw what I can see, you'll understand why I want you so desperately. Right now, I'm looking at you, and I can't believe you don't know. You don't know you're beautiful. That's what makes you beautiful. That versus, I want somebody to walk up behind me and kiss me on my neck and breathe on my neck. Been such a long time, I forgot that I was fine. Just kiss me on my neck and breathe on my neck. If you want to feel me, better be divine. Bring me water, water for my mind. Give me nothing. Breathe love in my air. Don't abuse me, no, because these herbs are rare. The erotic, a source of power, a source of information, a source providing energy for change. Cut off from that source? Audrey says, we have been taught to suspect this resource, vilified, abused, and devalued within Western society. So cut off from that source? We don't know we're beautiful. Our heads, in body or in spirit, are bowed in insecurity. And we are told that this is what makes us beautiful, desirable, that we don't know a source of our power, the erotic. But in command of those powers, what information is available to us? What energy for change? Touching, sensing into the erotic source within us, but I dare say, not just within us, but for some of us at the tips of our tongues, fingers, eyelashes, at the surface of the skin, however we may sense, all the ways we may sense in these varied bodies. Touching, sensing into the erotic source within us, we remember we are fine because, let's be honest, sometimes we can forget. No shade directed at the woman or other humans who smile at the ground and don't know that the way they move their hair or adorn their bodies or moisturize their skin or fill in the blank. No shade directed at us when we forget or have never known our fineness. The matter here is that instead of being encouraged to come into our erotic powers, be with them, have them be with us, use them. A society turning on the linchpin of our disempowerment and all kinds of disempowerment, a society turning on the linchpin of our disempowerment, don't want us to know what we got. Because if we do, we might dare to call for the lovers that we need in our lives. I want somebody to walk up behind me and kiss me on my neck and breathe on my neck. And by the way, if you want to feel me, better be divine. Bring me water, water for my mind. Give me nothing. Breathe love in my air. Don't abuse me, no, because these herbs are rare. We might say, I need this physical nourishment and this mental nourishment, so bring your kiss, your breath, and food for my mind and soul instead of waiting to see what someone will give us as we insecurely smile at the ground. We might in touch with, in relationship with our erotic power, dare to expect, pursue, make such fullness in other areas of our lives. What does the Sister Audrey say? She says, another important way in which the erotic connection functions is the open and fearless underlining of my capacity for joy, in the way my body stretches to music and opens into response, hearkening to its deepest rhythm, so every level upon which I sense also opens to the erotically satisfying experience, whether it is dancing, building a bookcase, writing a poem, examining an idea. She continues to say, that self-connection shared is a measure of the joy which I know myself to be capable of feeling, a reminder of my capacity for feeling. And that deep and irreplaceable knowledge of my capacity for joy comes to demand from all of my life that it be lived with the knowledge that such satisfaction is possible and does not have to be called marriage, nor God, nor an afterlife. She says, this is one reason why the erotic is so feared and so often relegated to the bedroom alone when it is recognized at all. For once we begin to feel deeply all the aspects of our lives, we begin to demand from ourselves and from our life pursuits that they feel in accordance with that joy which we know ourselves to be capable of. Our erotic knowledge empowers us, becomes a lens through which we scrutinize all aspects of our existence, forcing us to evaluate those aspects honestly in terms of their relative meaning within our lives. And this is a grave responsibility, she says, projected from within each of us, not to settle for the convenient, the shoddy, the conventionally expected, nor the merely safe. When the executive director at the organization at which I now work circled back to me months after I did not get a position for which I applied to see if I was still in search of a job, which I was desperately after being unemployed for a year, after getting a divorce and becoming a single mother again, it felt like someone had walked up behind me and kissed me on my neck. This was an organization I really wanted to work for. And when the ED, when she came back around to me, because she and others had recognized something in me, it wasn't a matter of me tying my worth to a job offer. By the time she came back around to me, I had remembered that I was fine. And that was a feat. After years of doing the unpaid work of mothering, some of those years as a wife, after years of being and underpaid as an artist, it was a feat to even dream of work that would pay me for the administration and the artistry I had been doing for years. I didn't remember I was fine by myself. My community helped me to reconstitute and remember myself, helped me with my resume, and just generally reflected back to me my worth by caring for me. This is no small feat, reflecting back to me my worth, as I come from parents whose dreams deferred, a la Langston Hughes, exploded through the lives of their children and filled us with shrapnel. It is no small feat to know my worth. Though we're not talking about capitalism's value framework, let's not get it twisted, because Audrey did not. What did she say? Our children cannot dream unless they live. They cannot live unless they are nourished. Hear her when she says this in her piece, Poetry is Not a Luxury. And as a former child who has gone hungry, I agree. So I will say this. I cannot be erotic unless I live. I cannot live unless I am nourished. Getting a paycheck for work that is meaningful to me at that, after a year of unemployment and a pandemic that contained within it a separation and divorce, After a life of being unpaid and underpaid for my work as a Black woman and mother, wife, caregiver, getting a paycheck is about eating, having shelter, providing for my children, having the basic necessities of life when so much circumscribes and straight up extinguishes Black life. Getting a paycheck is about life, implicated as I am in this capitalist project. Getting a paycheck is about life, and life is a prerequisite for the erotic. I cannot give or receive pleasure, cannot know my capacity for joy if I cannot eat, if I am not alive. The erotic, a source of power, a source of information, a source providing energy for change. What are the implications and applications of this for liberation and freedom as a Black woman? What about for my people? I ask and begin to answer myself. I ask and begin to answer as I imagine a luminary Black woman song as being sung by the erotic itself, an abandoned, suppressed, neglected, abused entity in our lives, singing. It wants to be remembered. It wants to be kissed on its neck and to remember how fine it is. It wants to be returned to its position of honor and use. It is saying, it is singing. If you want to feel me, baby, better be divine. Bring me water for these flowers growing out my mind. Give me nothing, just be gentle, breathe love in my air. Use me, don't abuse me, love me, 'cause these arms are rare. The erotic, rare, unique, like no other source of power. What dreams, struggles, and victories may come if we remembered that it was fine.
Thank you, Shawna, for your powerful words and for your fantastic singing, and just for the vibe you bring to the room all the time. Our final hymn this morning is I Wish I Knew How It Would Feel to Be Free. I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish I could break all these chains holding me. I wish I could say all the things I could say. Say 'em loud, say 'em clear, for the whole world to hear. Say 'em loud, say 'em clear, for the whole world to hear. I wish I could share all the love in my heart, remove all the bars that still keep us apart. I wish you could know what it means to be me. Then you'd see and agree that
everyone should be free, then you'd see and agree that everyone should be free. I wish I could give all I'm longing to give. I wish I could live like I'm longing to live. I wish I could do all the things I can do, though I'm way overdue. I'd be starting anew, though I'm way overdue. I'd be starting anew. I wish I could be like a bird in the sky. How sweet it would be if I found that I could fly. I'd soar to the sun and look down at the sea, and then I'd sing, 'cause I know how it feels to be free. Then I'd sing, 'cause I know how it feels to be free.
All right. Well, how do we infuse our lives with the erotic, with not only mere sensation, but true depth of feeling? Once more, the echoes of the words of the great Audre Lorde, who tells us, recognizing the power of the erotic within our lives gives us the energy to pursue genuine change within our world, rather than merely settling for a shift of characters in the same weary drama. For not only do we touch our most profoundly creative source, but we do that which is self-affirming in the face of a racist, patriarchal, and anti-erotic society. So, as we go into this week, as we go into Valentine's Day, the day that this society has deemed a celebration of love, of self, love of friendship, love of partnership and romantic partnership, go with Eros. Go with depth of feeling. Go with self-respect, empowerment for all that you feel, all you are capable of feeling. Go with deep, abiding love. Amen. Be blessed.